is the sixth team that we have for this afternoon, which is TuringCerts Inc. from Taiwan. Now, who are they? They are actually a technology company that issues tertiary education certificates through blockchain technology, which allow hearers to verify the academic background of job seekers effortlessly. And just like everyone else, you have 5 minutes. Jumpstart your dream now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeff. I'm the CEO of TuringCerts. I was from Taiwan, studied undergraduate in Hong Kong, and right now in UC Berkeley. Today I'm going to talk about a challenge. The challenge is professional history fraud. It could be educational record fraud. It could be working history. They're everywhere. So I have a friend who went to Stanford for 1 week conferences, and he just put on LinkedIn saying, "Oh, I'm a Stanford Business School graduate." And that's not quite true, but recently he just got a job. So yeah, that's a joke, but it happened everywhere, and we really want to solve it because it's a huge problem right now. It's easy to fake, but it's hard to verify. It usually take up to 6 weeks, $150 per educational verification. And if we onboard the wrong people, the cost to replace that person can take a very large chunk of the money. In the United States solely, every year 27% of the PhD are getting fake degree from online diploma. That's the data from the New York Times. So it costs damage for university, it costs damage for recruiters, and students. We cannot easily use the system right now to do a certification. But we have a very simplified model of solution. We put student ID onto blockchain, and then we generate a DID, decentralized identifier for that students. For every record, credential, courses, certificate of that student that just accumulated in the list. And every record can be easily sourced back to the origin of the data on the blockchain of who is endorser. If I'm the recruiter, I only need to click a button, 20 different records got sorted out. So it's pretty easy to issue, pretty easy to do the verification. And we have some major feature, particularly with the privacy, making everything GDPR compliant, and then still approval based. Each student, recruiter, university, they will get a unique identifier on the blockchain. And for every paper being printed out, they are still digitalized, so you can find out a footprint on it that will link you back to the record on the blockchain. So it's easy to use for the user part. And for the issuer part, we want to make sure the verification, the issuance are totally easy to do so as well. So unlike 6 weeks, you only need to click a button. Thousands of candidates with thousands of records just got sorted out. Everything you can easily link it back to who endorsed the data. And the certificate types can be all-rounded. It can be CFA certificates, it can be coffee workshops, it can be different kind of conference speakers, anything. People might think, oh, it's hard to talk into university like UC Berkeley or HKUST, so we have a totally different go-to-market strategy. We'll talk to conferences and competition, and they're different. But they also issue a lot of certificates for their audiences, students, for their speakers, and there are a lot in the United States and globally. We start with the initial sale at $2.5 per certificate, and it worked out. Let me show you. We start with the best markets, conference, and competition. And then we talk to universities saying, oh, we got 80% of the students set up in our system. Do you want to use our system in your registrar offices? When universities say yes, we go to recruiter. We say, right now you want to recruit talents. We have all the data set up in our system. You can just go through that easily with verification. So the entire market added up to be 19 billion. And right now, let me show you, we did it. So we signed a contract with KPMG, and we have paying contract from UC Berkeley, 5 different universities right now paying for it in Taiwan and Hong Kong. And then so 2 different high schools will be issuing their diploma on blockchain through TuringCerts this June. The number is still growing right now. We got a lot of adoption globally, and we are focusing on Taiwan and Hong Kong right now as the major markets. We also got endorsement from Clinton Foundation, so I will be flying to Scotland this April and get endorsed from Alibaba for sure, UC Berkeley, ACN in Germany, and Hong Kong ETNet. So a lot of people, they are really excited about it, and it makes it easier to reach out to the markets. And yes, we got competition from France, MIT, and Singapore, and the United States. But we stand out in two different differentiation. One is the GDPR privacy. Usually most of the competitors, they don't really look in the privacy part. So everyone on the street can easily see your record. I don't want that to happen right here for us. And the other part is we make sure everything physically are already digitalized. We have a very strong and productive team for large corporations. And so we build a product, people will do the fundraising and launch it to the market. Market has really good feedback right now. We are TuringCerts, I'm Jeff, and we are here to solve the problem for all the students, recruiters of the world. Thank you so much.
Oh, perfect. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you very much. And our judges, this is time for your questions. Please feel free to use your microphone. You can always show me with your hand, and just so that I have an idea about how many questions are coming in. So please feel free to raise your hand first so that I know. Any questions coming in? Please feel free to use your microphone also.
Can I ask a question about your revenue projection for the next 2 years? I know that you have the quantity projection, but what's the revenue projection in the next 2 years?
Oh yeah, sure. So our projection for the first year, 2020, is about 100 issuers. They issue monthly. Each month they got 100 certification. So you can go by like 2500 times 12, which would be for it will be around 1.5 million for the first year. And the second year, we're expecting a 50% to 70% growth on the revenue. And they will be recurring because the retention rate of the customer will be really strong. Whenever they start putting data on our platform, they will need to keep on it because the cost of moving away will be very large for them to do so. Yeah, that's our strategy right now.
Thank you. And one of our judges, Michael, he has a question. He wants to know, does it have to be blockchain based?
Oh, good question. I have always been asked the question. There are two major reasons of using blockchain. Firstly, our company is a startup, so we want to have guarantee to those 150 years university large corporation. We need to give them confidence that even though our server has been broke down, they can still get access to the data on the blockchain. If we use a centralized service, then all the people who are using the system need to trust that company to stay alive for sure, right? So we just tell them like, we have open source our service. So whenever our server being broke down, anyone from our server or any other places, they can easily spin up the server, reach our database. So data will still over there. So that's a 80% reason of using blockchain. The 20% reason of using blockchain is we want to use the DID, decentralized identifier on the blockchain. And that identifier will go with a student ID. I'm a student when I graduate. I can use the same DID for e-commerce, for healthcare data, for different kind of industry than service providers. So it's not limited in the educational vertical right now. Yeah, that's the two major reasons.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
What is the composition of the team and the team's future expansion? And also, this market seems pretty small. Do you have any adjacent business model revenue that is a plan?
So the composition of the team right now, we got 3/4 of the team. 70% of the team are researcher and engineer. 30% are the designer right now. And there is a key issue. We need business development people. So I'm right now in United States recruiting business development people from UC Berkeley Law School and Business School, bring it on board so we can go globally to do the business development right now. Yeah. And all the customer that we get so far is from me and my
sentence. Thank you.
Yep.